ropes being unwound and linked to the main capstan. And then the ship's wheel. The white ensign that flies from the stern of every ship in the Royal Navy. Fleet of foot, bonny of face, the Highland dancers from a world apart march off together to Po Cari Cariana and the Royal Scots Polka. On the 26th of October, 1644, an order in council was issued calling for 1,200 soldiers to be recruited for service in the fleet. They became known as the Admiral's Regiment. From them evolved Britain's Sea Soldiers, Her Majesty's Corps of Royal Marines, an integral part of the naval service. They became part of the complement of all warships. In 1704, they stormed the Rock of Gibraltar and won a battle honor which they display in their badge to this day. In 1805, 2,700 Royal Marines served in the Battle of Trafalgar. In the 21st century, they're most famed for their highly skilled and highly trained commando units seen here in action, sometimes dressed for Arctic warfare. They have a light amphibious expeditionary function, capable of rapid response strikes and peacekeeping roles all over the world using the latest equipment. This display is mounted by both members of the Regular Corps and Royal Marine Reservists. The ancient crown jewels of Scotland can rest more easily within the castle tonight, knowing that Royal Marine commanders are in hand and that the ancient ramparts hold no fears for Britain's sea soldiers. Watch it, here's trouble, an impending ticket for speeding. Formed 10 years ago, and on their third visit to Edinburgh, the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force Steel Orchestra and Drums bring their own sunny rhythms and unique style of music to an old city alive with a heady, festive mix of cultures and delights. They're led into the arena by the drum major, Sergeant Linus Haynes. The march is Farewell Jamaica. band forms T&T, representing Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad is the most southerly of the West Indian Islands, just 7 miles off the coast of Venezuela. And Tobago is 19 miles to the northeast. They gained their independence in 1962 and became a republic in 1976. Yellowbird. Private Nadia Alexander and able seaman Adana Kavla set up a limbo bar, and the competition begins. How low can you get? Lower still. She gives a new meaning to the phrase, a flexible friend. Well done. The tune is Mary Ann. How low can you get? Hot, hot, hot. The enchanting musicians of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, steel orchestra and drums. Ye wee imp, gie us her bite back, and we'll say no more about it. From Russia, the Cossack State Dance Company, bringing their tireless energy, inspired dancing, and their sheer passion for life. This is perhaps the most popular Russian folk song of all, Kalinka. Kalinka is a wild berry, and for centuries, peasant girls collected the berries in the late summer. The song was often sung at wild parties in country villages, when the beauty of the girls was likened to the beauty of the fruit trees. The second part of the Cossacks program was specially compiled for this year's celebration of the ending of the war in Europe 60 years ago. The Great Patriotic War, as the Russians call it. The Cossacks had fought with the Red Army all the way from the outskirts of Moscow to Berlin. The girl tries to direct the traffic as the troops reach the city. The fighting is over. It's time to go home. At every station in towns and villages along the way, the soldiers are greeted as heroes. There is great joy, great happiness as families and lovers are reunited. We made good friends, says the song, and together we saved our motherland. This is our victory, the people's victory, which now we celebrate. And the ribbons recall the fireworks in Red Square in June 1945. In 1961, 44 years ago, the band and drill team of His Majesty the King of Norway's Guard first took Edinburgh military tattoo audiences by storm. Now they return to the Guards' March for the 7th time with another immaculate display of drill and music. Aged from 18 to 21, these young soldiers of the Kongens Guard are all conscripts doing 1 year's military service. They were called up in October of last year and immediately went into training to appear in the Edinburgh Military Tattoo's Salute to Australia in Sydney in February. The band includes 6 girls who are all volunteers. Auditions for the band are held all over Norway. These rifles each weigh 5 kilos or 10 pounds. The bayonets are razor sharp. A magnificent display of silent drill. Every movement memorized. The tune is Gibraltar. Company colours are attached to the rifles for the Infantry Regimental March, number 18. Camel Jägers March, the old Rangers March. National flag of Norway and the King's colour of the King's Guard. The responsibility of the King's Guard is to protect King Harold and the royal family and to mount guard at the royal palaces. And this year they took a prominent role in the centenary celebrations in June of Norway's independence from Sweden. Over 400 years ago, in the days of Sir Francis Drake and Sir John Hawkins, drums were used to signal the changes of watch at sea. By 1767, Royal Marines bands were formed. Just over 100 years ago, the band service became an integral part of the Corps of Royal Marines. And in 1950, the Royal Marines School of Music was founded, now